Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Bowl TV for day number one of competition from the 2022 USBC Senior Queens, taking place at the Gold Coast Hotel and Casino from Las Vegas, Nevada. My name is Aaron Smith, and I'll be joined by Jason Thomas in just a moment. The last time we held the Senior Queens was 2019. The last two editions canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So we are excited. We are ready to see the top players 50 and over competing here for a chance at the coveted tiara. Of course, a place in tournament history. They got to make it through the double elimination bracket, so famous for this event as well. So a lot of great things to talk about, a lot of excitement to look forward to over the course of the next 3 days before we crown our champion here at Gold Coast, right here live on BowlTV.com. This is a opening preview for everybody who's joining us on Facebook and YouTube as well. We'll be here for game number one. But for game number one, let's get out to the lanes and check out the action. And we are going to, there we go. We're underway. We're rolling, folks. We're good to go. And we're going to kick things off. We actually have 32 lanes of coverage available here on BowlTV.com. Lanes 35 through 66, I believe, is the coverage field, along with live scoring, a few other things. You can follow the event at bowl.com/Senior Queens as well. But as we settle in, we're going to kick things off behind lanes 55 through 58. On 55 and 56, we have Pam Lawrence, Lana Mink, and Elisa Goodson. Then on 57 and 58, Beth Owen Chipileski, Deborah Kramer, Georgette Hill Code, and then USBC and PWBA Hall of Famer in 2018, Senior Queens champion Tish Johnson. We do have 4 past champions in the field. We'll talk a little bit about the tournament format as well in just a moment. All right, folks, we mentioned Tish Johnson joining us on 57 and 58 to your right. And for Tish, the most current champion in the field, our technically defending champion, Jeannie Nacarado, USBC and PWBA Hall of Famer, not in the field this week. We definitely love getting to see Jeannie compete, but we will not have the opportunity here in 2022 at the Senior Queens. So that makes Tish the most recent champion of the event. We have 4 past champions in the field. Another USBC Hall of Famer, Lucy Sandlin, 3-time Senior Queens champion, competing this week. She won in 2007, 2013, and 2017. Paula Vedad, the 2011 champion. And then Shar Hamill, who's locally here out of the Las Vegas and Henderson area, 2010 champion. Shout out to Shar Hamill as well. And she's very involved with the running of the International Golden Ladies Classic. So a big shout out to everything she does with that. She does a lot of the stuff you see online from their Facebook page, keeping everybody informed. So congratulations to the champions this year as well. That event took place March 13th through the 17th over at the Orleans, just a short drive from the Gold Coast here in Las Vegas. So great opportunity for these senior and super senior players to get out and bowl and compete and have a good time as well. Regina Aboud and then Heidi Pagankoff for the champions. At the 2022 events, Regina in the senior division, Heidi in the super senior division, her second super senior title in the past couple of years. So the tournament format and what we're looking at today, we're going to have a total, or we're going to have 3 5-game qualifying rounds, one on the fresh, one on the burn, then the final one on the fresh once again. And after those 15 games, we'll take a look at the total pinfall. Based off of that number, the top 32 will advance to the double elimination match play bracket. Normally in this situation, we'd say the top 31 and defending champion Jeannie Nacarado, but since, as we mentioned, Jeannie not in the field this week, we will give that spot back out to the field. So top 32 will advance, and then 3 game matches, total pinfall, determining who will make their run to the stepladder finals. Once again, it'll take place Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 local time here in Las Vegas. So if you happen to be in the area, come on down. You can be the next contestant on Bowl TV, even though we don't have contestants. But you can check out these top competitors. It's really fun to be back at this event. And this is definitely one I look forward to each and every year. It's just a really cool vibe to be at this event. The competitors are great. Obviously, they're here to compete, but there's a different sense of camaraderie that you get when you're here watching the Senior Queens, and it's just really cool to be a part of. So I'm excited to be back. I know the competitors, they've been waiting for the opportunity to come back. So makes this one pretty special, I think. I think this is a pretty big year, and looking forward to what's going to transpire over the course of the next 3 days, and of course, see who's going to take home the tiara on Monday night. But with that, I'm going to bring in Jason Thomas. Hello, JT.
I thought you were going to give me a tiara. I was hoping.
You're going to get the live stream tiara after after the effort you put in this morning. So
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of lanes, 32 lanes, pretty much the whole field. Once we get into match play, which will start tomorrow afternoon, we'll have every single match for you here on Bowl TV. So that's exciting.
Yeah, and this is, another example of Bowl TV and kind of growing what we've been doing here. And, thinking back to 2019 and a couple of years before that, it was, 1 station, 2 stations, 2 channels. We're up to 8. We're going to have every match, essentially every bracket match covered, which is, as you said, JT, pretty awesome stuff. I actually had a few of the competitors in practice come up and say, are all these for us? And I'm like, yeah, we're basically getting you every game. Outside of there are a few pairs of qualifying that we're not catching, but very few. Very few.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so good morning, Rick. How are you? Rick enjoying the split screen coverage, so a little different way of looking at it for you guys. Gets a little closer to the action. You can see right behind each of the lanes that we're covering, so you can see the ball motion a little better. Ladies are bowling on a 41-foot oil pattern this week. It's got a little shape to it, so there could be potentially some scores on this pattern. 3.85 to 1 ratio on the right, 3.57 to 1 ratio on the left. Slightly asymmetrical, but a little bit lower volume than what we've seen in some of the other short duration events like the U.S. Open and the Masters and the Queens. 25.8 mils the volume here, and there's a lot of friction built into this surface. So basically throw a shot, and if it doesn't hook, move right or left if you're a lefty, and it will hook.
We've seen this event yield some big scores in the past couple of editions. When Tish won in 2018, I believe, on her way to the top seed for the stepladder, averaged right around 235 over the course of not only qualifying but match play as well. So 2018 was certainly a tiara long coming for Tish, who had been searching for a win at the Queens for a long time as one of the top competitors on the PWBA tour, and then so many close calls in the senior edition before breaking through with that win in 2018. But scoring pace was a little bit lower in 2019. The shot was a little bit tougher overall.
They were tough, yeah.
And then, but Jeannie Nacarado, her performance in the stepladder was one of those just things you enjoy as a bowling fan. You just appreciated the shot making that she did throughout the course of that event, and to win the tiara. It was really phenomenal. Just to, she got to a place on the lane where really no one else was at, and she didn't have much room to work with. She had to make phenomenal shots time and time again, and that's exactly what she did on her way to the victory over Australia's Lee Booth. Typically, we do have a handful of competitors from Australia in the field, a couple from England as well, and I think we do have a player or two from England. So I know a few folks still hopefully looking ahead to getting back to the Senior Queens in the next couple of years. So we hope they're all doing well and still bowling and doing their thing out there. And we hope to see you back at the Senior Queens in the 2023.
Yeah, certainly. Some players from England, as you mentioned, but also Germany, and a lot of players from Canada in the field this week. Good 6 or 7, at least, from Canada bowling this week. But yeah, Jeannie, I think you said yesterday Jeannie's bowled this event twice, and she's finished second and first, which is pretty good.
Since I started getting involved with the Senior Queens, yeah, that was. I believe the only 2 times I remember seeing her in the field. So, lost to Tish in 2018 in the title match, and then went on to win the next year. So, that's a pretty good ratio.
Yeah, and I did talk to Jeannie a couple weeks back, and she just said, with her state shutting down, she just hasn't had the time to practice. And she's really one of those players that, if she doesn't feel like she's sharp and has a chance to win, she's not going to do it. She realizes how great the competition is out here, and she's out here to win when she does come out and compete. So hopefully we'll see her get back out on the lanes and be at a future edition of the event. But in the meantime, we get to watch the great Tish Johnson, who just recently had knee replacement surgery. Aaron Smith, she walked me through that yesterday, and she really said she kind of needs it for both, and she decided to do her push-off leg first. And she said her physical therapy and recovery has been pretty good. She's bowled a couple of tournaments coming into this, and she's looking pretty sharp out of the gates here early. She said eventually she's going to have her slide leg done as well. But she wants to have an opportunity to bowl some of the international events for Team USA later in the year, and then she's going to have the other leg done. But she said it was basically bone on bone, so it was a lot of pain, and she said it was very difficult to get through even just a 3-game set. And so with the replacement, she's pain's gone. She's got a little stiffness, she said, a little, but as she gets stronger and works her way through it, she said it gets better every day.
Excellent. It's good to hear. Tish, definitely one of our favorites out here each time we get to see her. She likes to give me a hard time. Did you know that, JT?
Yeah. She gave me a hard time about my beard yesterday. So yeah, she tends to do that.
But I love getting to see Tish. And you mentioned, some of the international stuff, and a handful of these players were in Dubai back in November for the International Bowling Federation World Masters Championships, which was formerly Senior Championships. The 4 players who represented Senior Team USA all in the field this week: Tracy Calfee, Debbie Ayers, Tish Johnson, and Sharon Powers. And then you mentioned from Canada, they won the silver medal in the team event. 3 of those 4 players in the field this week: Lorraine Fast, Deb Lee, and then Jill Fries as well. So a few players who got the opportunity to experience that event as well. And certainly that's been part of the rotation now for the past couple of years. The World Seniors, kind of kickstarting here in Las Vegas in 2013. And then that's been a every other year event.
Yeah, so it just goes to show what a solid field we have here this week. Not going to be an easy cakewalk for somebody. That's for sure.
Mentioned the International Golden Ladies Classic taking place prior to this. Many of the competitors in the field did take the opportunity to compete in both. Tish was one of those players.
Get that 7-pin out of there. What hit it?
I don't think she knew it fell.
It's like the phantom punch.
That's just when you're good, you're good, Carrie.
It's 7-pin. Oh, that's Tish. I better fall. Better just go down.
Yeah, cut it down the playback there. It looked like, something just leaned on it.
Yeah, she was even kind of turned around and didn't think it was gonna fall, and then she looked back and said, "Oh, I guess it fell." Take that. Nice little double spare 3-bagger start for Tish. See some strikes as we look up and down the bowling center, but a lot of rough scores as well. We will have a burn squad this afternoon, so that should be fun. Of course, once we get into the matches, there will be several rounds that the players will bowl on a burn pair. But tonight could be pretty interesting. There could be some big scores with the pattern having a little shape to it. You would imagine that they'll set them up pretty nice here this morning, and with a little bit of extra hook tonight, especially the players like Jody Wessner, who has just moved into the over 50 crowd. She could have a field day on the burn squad this afternoon.
Yeah, I think for a lot of folks, Jody is going to be a player to watch this week. Obviously, she's been such a great competitor. She bowls part-time on the PWBA tour, but it seems every time she bowls, she's making the cut. She's advancing. Had the win, of course, in 2008 in the
women's series.
In the women's series.
Yeah.
Still looking for that first PWBA title, but you give Jody this format and give Jody a lot of games. It seems like she's a perennial for the U.S. Women's Open for bowling all 56.
Yeah,
and contending to make the show. So I would certainly expect Jody to be in the mixed weight here this year.
Gosh, she's got so much firepower, and certainly if the PWBA had not ceased operations in 2003, you'd imagine she'd have multiple titles. She's got the big record at the women's championships as well. Always seems like she's shooting, 2,100 or more every time she shows up there. She does own the all events record, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
She does. Back in 2010 in El Paso, she shot 23:30.
That's a large number.
That was yes, with an 816 series in doubles.
Yeah, just imagine, if you bowled two 800 series on the nose, you'd still need 730 to shoot that score. So that's a lot of striking.
Yeah, I think it was 764 in team, 816 in doubles, and then she slowed down a little bit in singles and shot 750. So.
Yeah. Shake it off.
On 1 and 2 at the El Paso Convention Center at the build for the 816.
Wow. Yeah, that's some good work there.
I don't know why I remember this, but
because you were there.
I felt I needed to work in the pair.
I mean, it was historical, right? You don't forget history.
It was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Just looking off to our right on 61 and 62, Shirley Stahl with a good start. She's got spare strike, spare 4-bagger, possible 270 for her. Again, we've got almost every lane in the bowling center available for you to watch. 32 lanes in all. They're all posted along the channel guide at the bottom of your viewing screen. We will have every single match once we get down to our 32 finalists tomorrow. I always have to catch myself when I say that because it seems so quick that you just get right into the bracket here at the Senior Queens. But just one squad, 76 bowlers in the field. And they'll bowl 3 5-game sets. One right now, one later this afternoon, and then one tomorrow morning. And then we'll cut to our top 32, go right into the bracket.
Let's go.
And double elimination.
Yep, so works the same as Queens, Masters, Senior Masters, except just a smaller field advances. So 32 instead of the 64 that we've seen in the past at those other events. So, but yeah, it moves quick. We'll be down to, I believe, the top 16 in both brackets by the time we're done with that first day, and before you know, we'll have a top 5 and be a stepladder final time. Yeah, you mentioned Shirley Stahl. She's over on 61 and 62 right now. She's 270. She had a I know I saw a post. She was one of the players off to a strong start at the International Golden Ladies Classic as well. So a little bit of momentum from that event as well.
Good form, as they say in golf. She's in good form. Chap. I don't know if that's how British people talk, but Maybe back in like 1915.
I enjoyed the chat though. It was a good reference as a lad. All right, folks. For those who are wondering, live scoring should be up right now. So thanks to Rob and Louie.
Oh yeah, it is. And we'll get right into it. Karen Miller down on 31 and 32. She's not on one of our featured pairs. We start on 35 and 6. So there are 6 lanes on the low end that we are not covering, and then 1 pair on the high end that we're not covering. So 8 lanes aren't being covered, but the rest are 32. So, Karen Miller, possible 247. So nice start for her down on 31 and 32.
Saw 253 from our 2010 champion, Shar Hamill. Off to a strong start. Sharon Powers is going to be in the 240s.
Terry Ward with 245 on that same pair with Sharon. Lucy Sandlin shooting 209 with the strike on the fill. Gotta assume she'll be one of the contenders here this week.
No, Lucy's been battling some things on the health side, and I talked to her for a little bit yesterday. She bowled there's another event that runs here as well, and she bowled that before the practice session. And so, 255 out of the gate, slowed down a little bit after that. But she's just really excited to be back on the lanes, back competing, back being able to see everyone. She recently had a birthday as well, so I think she got to spend that out here in Las Vegas. So definitely great to see Lucy back out on the lanes. I want to say if it was 2018 or 2019, I remember she had an injury. Might have been 18. It might have been her title defense that basically pushed her to doing a one-step approach in match play. And she kept fighting through it. I think I remember she actually shot 600 doing that. She didn't win the match, but she shot, 600 one-step approach on a, not necessarily, a wide open shot.
Yeah, that's amazing. Kind of reminds me of what Clara Guerrero did that one year at the Queens when she woke up and her back was in excruciating pain, and she was in one of the 16 that had advanced to the last day undefeated, and lost her first 2 matches, but managed to bowl 600 in both of them, which was pretty impressive.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you guys could pick that up on the mic, but Tish just said, "Hey, can we just skip to match play? Qualifying's boring."
Well, she's on pace to go. Already with marking the 2 teams, can still max out for 225. Scores in the books over on 55 and 56, Pam Lawrence. Finishing with 170, Alana Mink, 203, Lisa Goodson, 149. And then, as we said, 10 frames still left to go here on 57, 58. Folks, as we get toward the end of game 1 here, for those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, thanks for joining us here. We will be signing off from those platforms. So you do have to head on over to bowltv.com to check out the rest of the action. As JT has mentioned, 32 lanes covered, so 8 channels to choose from along with our commentary channel. So you can follow, your favorite athlete. More than likely you'll catch them, 4 to 5 games, if not all 6, depending on where they draw for this particular round. So a great opportunity to support these competitors and watch the field and watch the excitement unfold. So we hope you check that out. You can pick up an event ticket for $8.95 to watch the live action today, tomorrow, and Monday. You pick up a monthly recurring subscription, $9.95, which unlocks the entire website, including archived events and on-demand coverage as well. And then $79.95 for an annual recurring subscription. Best way to support the PWBA Tour and all the great short duration events that we cover throughout the course of the year. PWBA hasn't even started yet. So, if you're really looking ahead, it's a great opportunity to support the tour and watch, some of these ladies will be out there competing on the tour throughout the course of the year as well. Great way to support and all the events we have upcoming. Of course, Masters coming up
next week.
In a week
right
as
here.
well. So, looking ahead to that, a few great options to, check out more bowling than just this week. You can definitely expand that subscription. So be sure to check those out at bowltv.com. Transaction fees do apply to all three, and we also have giveaways in case you hadn't heard yet. We do have giveaways. So we'll have one at in the next couple games in this round as well. So be sure to stick around, head over to Bowl TV. You can win as well while you're watching. So a lot of good stuff throughout the course of the week to look forward to.
Yeah, we've got 3 bowling balls that we're giving away for the Stepladder Finals.
Let's go.
1 Storm, 1 Roto Grip, and 1 900 Global.
So see, right there.
You're not going to want to miss that.
It's always a good time. Always a good time. Looking forward to it. Tish finishes with 211. She's going to lead the way on the pair. Beth can finish up at 148 with the conversion here. Very good player, though. So Beth, slow start, but she's going to work her way back into the mix here. Georgette with a strike up on the board. She can get to 181. And for Deborah Kramer, still gets to 200 on the nose. She's able to put together a couple more strikes here in the 10th frame, working off 1 in the 9th. Yeah, just like that. Great shot. Of course, you can visit bowl.com/Senior Queens for all the tournament information, results, live scoring, lane pairings, full roster, topography reports if you're into that kind of thing.
I am.
Well, there you go. You know where to find it now. For all 70 lanes at Gold Coast, not just even the ones we're using, the whole place. So check all that out. And for those of you watching on bowltv.com, essentially that page that we use for that is available to you. You see a couple of different options above the chat. That second tab, I believe that exclamation point is what I have it deemed as. I do, yes. Exclamation point. We'll get you to all the information. So all that at your fingertips on bowltv.com as well. $186 for Deborah, Georgette 171, Beth 148, Tish 211. So, folks, that is going to wrap up game 1 here. We're going to move into game 2 very quickly across the house. Some pairs already underway. So we'll go ahead and take a quick second to refresh. Once again, for those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, we hope to see you on bowltv.com. Check out the USBC Senior Queens and everything else taking place on Bowl TV in the next coming weeks and months and years. It's nonstop. So we're going to take a quick break to reset, but we'll be right back for game 2 of this 5-game block in just a moment on Bowl TV.